Hey, wrestling fans, once again, we find ourselves mourning the loss of another legend in the world of professional wrestling. Kamala, otherwise known as James Harris, his real name, passed away over the weekend at the age of 70, and it had been documented for years of his battle with diabetes and high blood pressure, and we certainly have his family and friends and fans in our thoughts. And speaking of fans, I was a huge fan of Kamala, dating back probably to about 1983, 1984. I don't remember the exact year, but when he first came into World Class Championship Wrestling, it was the first time I remember seeing him in the vignettes they did coming from deepest, darkest Africa. And I know that the gimmick had been around in Memphis as well before that, but I really remember him in World Class Wrestling with Devastation Incorporated, battling the Von Erichs and all the other baby faces in the territory, and then eventually going to the WWF several times, wrestling Hulk Hogan. Then his resurgence in 1992 when he came back and wrestled The Undertaker. That was a classic feud as well. I was very fortunate in 2009. Ran into Kamala at a Ring of Honor event, and he was signing autographs, and I snapped a picture and posted it on a blog that I later wrote. And Kenny Casanova, who was helping to write Kamala's book, Kamala Speaks, had reached out to me after seeing that photo and asked if they could use it for the book. Unfortunately, this was an iPhone 3, I think, that I had taken the photo with, so it was very low quality, and when it went to translate into printing, it just didn't work. But that kind of built a relationship between myself and Kenny, and I actually had Kamala, James Harris, on my podcast, one of the very first big name guests that I had, and I loved talking to him. I just loved the character, I loved the gimmick, and just hearing from him and recounting some of the stories from his historic career. One of the biggest things that I think a lot of fans don't realize is that he actually body slammed Andre the Giant one time. So he tells that story and so much more. And he's going to be sorely missed. I really think he should have already been in the WWE Hall of Fame, and I certainly hope that he gets the honor posthumously, because he really did. Maybe he wasn't the champion, or he wasn't the greatest, in the greatest shape, or whatever the case may be, but he was a memorable character and brought back a lot of childhood memories for me, and obviously he is going to be sorely missed by me, and I know a lot of other fans as well. So rest in peace, Godspeed to James Harris, aka Kamala, the Ugandan Giant.